Let's hope it works. It does. What's up, everyone? Just for a second there, I was putting a post on Instagram. So I literally just uploaded it. So I was trying to finish that Instagram story. It's online now. So, yo, what's up, everyone? What a nice day. Some price action, and I also received a XLR cable for the new mic. Now, I have the mic stand. I now got the cable. I just need the microphone itself. And another thing, and this is going to be a topic I'm actually interested in covering with all of you, is got a new journal today. So, do you journal? Do you journal your trades? Do you journal on paper or do you journal on a computer? Right? Do you journal every morning? Do you have goals written out? Like that sort of stuff, right? So, personally, I do have a journal. I actually have another one here that I wrote on this morning, which is this one. This is a small pocket book journal. Then I have this one here. This is more like getting things out of my head, I suppose. So, for example, with the altcoin streams, I write here. But also, if I need to quickly like remember something or whatever, I'll probably put it in there. And this one, the bigger ones, and I actually have another book on my desk here. The bigger ones are used for more like trading. They're used for monthly planning, goals, those type of things. I have another, it's not a notebook, but I have what's this? Like a folder, I guess, like a couple of papers. And that they represent my 1 year, my 5 year, and my 10-year plan. And so I have 1 page per goal year, I suppose, like 1 year, 5 year, and 10 year, right? 1 page each. And it includes living goal, house goal, cars goal, health goal, family goals, work week, live goals, weekend live goals, etc. Right? So, yeah, I'm curious. And yes, I did shave. was about time, Eventually it gets too long and I don't really enjoy it. So yeah, we good. All right, we good. And never completely like shave like a bit of a stubble, you know what I mean? So yo, how you doing, everyone? Hopefully you're good. And yeah, I'm doing very, very, very well indeed. JP, what's up? Giannis, if possible, I would like it if you could go live. We're live now, of course, a couple of minutes after the news hit. So we had some high impact news here, 2:30 p.m. I don't know what it is, but let's see. We might get some increased volatility on the chart. So, yeah, not too much has happened in the first few minutes of the countdown. Christian, Sibel, welcome. I hope we get 2 lives today as the FOMC might bring more volatility. Yeah, let's see. I'm actually curious. Let's see where we are by the end of the day, no? And depending on the structures, I indeed consider going live tonight, which is 8 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Central European time is the news. So arguably 8 to 9 p.m. is potential live stream time, and see if anything happens. But yeah, sometimes it's also very delayed, like you expect something to happen and then it only happens overnight when all of us Europeans are asleep. So yeah, let's see what we get. El Didorino, welcome. Nicholas, Rahul, Tawangat, Trading Queen, good to have you here. Samith, welcome. Good to have you here, man. 111k, right, Samith? Huh? Gun. Interesting. Also confluence from an Elliott wave point of view. It is a target. Would be one of the higher targets for a potential 5, of course. So, interesting. Now, we also hit the 618, Samith, taken from this recent range to the low. So this cannot be a wave 4. Of course, we chat a lot in gold in general, but this being a 2 with this a 4 is kind of like out the window. So the one you see on my chart now is taken from here to here, just in case. No? I gotta say, I do like the WXY that I posted. I will talk about the local time frames, but it's WXY. Of course, it's a very steep Y in that case, but it's a fun idea. WXY, sharp Y though, in a potential 4 there. Rayat, welcome. Sibel, like before you enter is the rule. Thanks, Sibel. Mool, press conference with G. Powell is more important today than any news. Yeah, tonight. Should be interesting. Laurent, welcome. Aquafasami, what's up? Is it a bullish signal that I just gave up on alts? It's probably a work-life balance signal. I also prefer to focus on just Bitcoin. Like I have no problem being patient for Bitcoin to give me a better opportunity. And sometimes Bitcoin gives me multiple opportunities on a day, and sometimes it doesn't give me an opportunity on a day. So, and it just makes life easier focusing on one asset. I'm personally not really involved trading any other asset than Bitcoin itself. Odin, how you doing? Welcome, man. Do you think Powell takes position before his announcement? I don't know if you're talking about trading positions, but that would be, of course, or investing, but that would be insider trading, which I guess is not a great idea in his position. Other than that, I'm not involved with news at all. I have never even seen a picture, video, or whatever of this Powell guy. I wouldn't recognize him on the street. I do not care about news. I only care about the volatility. And because of the potential volatility, I eventually have the time here. So that's that. And what you just saw here is part of like a trading plan I had for today. So I'm currently long, I'm well managed, right? So that's most important. My stop is not at the 618 anymore. And we'll see what happens. These are the ideas I had today. So I shared in another live stream at some point how I organize my routine in the morning, and I always take a screenshot, have it as a browser tab. This was the tab. So and then you have other structures. These are areas of interest, and then depending on the reaction, I might act, I might not act. We do not know, but it depends on the structure there. What's good, Kurtish? How you doing? Indeed, Rapper Sibel. Yeah, Rapper Sibel. Ziggy, if you have time, maybe a 50-minute Bitcoin count. Yeah, we will. We will have a look there. Altcoin stream. Can you do ETH BTC? Alts will be after the Bitcoin analysis. Then we'll have a look at the alts. So being online for an hour and then do some alts, and maybe tonight. Let's see. Maybe tonight some more. What's up, Power Meet? Gabriel, welcome. Dasek. Game changer. Lemny encodes smart pen digital, writes like a fountain pen in a notebook and digitizes it for later searching. I see. Yeah, I gotta say, I'm a big fan of just using paper and pen. I don't know, maybe it's old school, but I just really like to just write. And of course, it's not easy to find notes if you want to look back, right? If you want to look back in your notebook and you've written 100 pages, you're like, wait, I once wrote about this. Yeah, like, of course it's a mess, but yeah. I tend to not really go back in time too much. Yeah. Mohib, welcome. Bogdan, Ricardo, Birker, could you please have a look at ETH? That's for later as well after Bitcoin. Milo, what's up? Senat, keep a journal of my completed trades, all of which I manage through an Excel sheet. It also represents my monthly goal, which with each row covering a specific day and the trades made on the day. It's good. That's good. I like that. I also use Excel as a trading journal. So I also use, I suppose, a computer program. Who is this teenager on the stream? Yeah, I like what you said there. Yeah, I know. I'm still trying to grow a beard. I'm trying to grow a beard. trying to get the Bart in the kill and that sort of stuff, whatever that is in English. You were a big part of the inspiration for this improvement about 8 months ago, as it helped me refine my previous approach. I like to hear that. Good job, Senate. Yeah, it takes a little bit of time, but that's the thing, you know, it really helps, provides a lot of insights as well. What are the significance of the red and green volume candle? Is it only the length that we should bother about, or the color as well? I guess you're talking about volume here in the bottom. And with regards to the volume candles, is it the length? Yeah, of course, the color and the length are important because it's about selling pressure or buying pressure, right? So, of course, a red candle would have more selling pressure. No, so in a very strong downtrend, you want red, high red volume candles in a wave 3, right? So, for example, if you go to the weekly, right, you can see here not too much happens, but the moment you shoot up, you get green on your chart, green, my chart, gray. You get green candles and volume is moving up. That's what you like to see when you talk about a wave 3, for example, right? Like in a more bearish scenario, you move down, high volume red candles, right? So yeah, the color matters, the size of the candle matters, as volume plays a very important role in Elliott waves. Volume in wave 2 and 4 tends to move down compared to the impulses. 1, 3, 5. Wave 5 lower volume than 3. 3 the highest amount of volume most commonly. 1 generally quite low. Diagonals tend to have a decreasing amount of volume. Same with triangles. Dominic, welcome. Christian, you're looking like a chocolate boy. I know. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone. Like, I know. Like, I literally shaved this morning. Paper and pen. Yeah, same for me. Is there a reason why you don't share anything in the Kun Setups channel anymore? Yeah, because at that moment in time, there was a strong feeling of being a signals type of channel, which I avoid. I don't want to do anything signal related. So I am currently working on restructuring the memberships in such a way that it continues to be educational and not about like like signals. I guess in a way, like if you share what you're looking for and interested in, there's always a group of people, even with YouTube, that just trade the YouTube videos. They will trade whatever they see online. They don't learn themselves. They just trade, probabilities are higher. Kun said this, so I do this, right? That's absolutely the wrong approach, but you have those people, of course. And it's the same with, of course, memberships as well, where if you do share in a bit more detail, like, hey, from an Elliott wave point of view, this is what we're looking for. I have support here, put a long position there. It's very likely people copy that stuff. And I can of course say, like, I know what I'm looking for. I know my target. I know how to manage my risk. And I can therefore be a winning trader because everything I use and do works for me. But someone that only sees the position, the stop loss, and maybe a TP, they don't know how I manage my trade and all that stuff. I'm not like, they might lose while I win. That's cool because I win and that's what I care about. But in the educational process, they should learn how to manage stuff and make their own plan and, that sort of stuff. So, yeah. So, I got to think about that. Head and shoulders, negative divergence on left shoulder. I'm not a pattern trader, but if you talk about this one here, shoulder, head, potential shoulder, then yeah, you have possibly a head and shoulder pattern here. But from an Elliott wave point of view, there's many counts that you can use for a head and shoulder pattern. Flotty, how you doing? Does your girlfriend think there's a stranger streaming now? Yeah, she was at the gym when I shaved my beard, and she came back and she started screaming and throwing things and trying to get me out of the house. But I managed to somehow convince her that it is really me. So, do you think Trump is long on Bitcoin? Honestly, mate, I don't care about politics. I don't care about Trump. I don't care about who was the other guy or the girl. the Harris, I think, thingy. I don't care about politics. I don't care about news. I don't care about all that stuff. So honestly, I don't care if he's long. I don't care if he's short. I only care about my money and my position and my trading. Yeah, whatever Trump is doing is not gonna impact my trading. I'm already positioned way before the news hits. Just like when Trump became a president and we had the news pump, probabilities were higher anyway to move out of the range and move towards the upside. I was already positioned way ahead of the candle that broke out to the upside. I don't care about politics. I've been trying to identify structure and apply the 886. For me, it looks like alts hit the 886. Means more bearish but short term. Depends on where the 886 is positioned. On the upside, it's short term. Usually short term after an 886 starts a retracement and then continuation to take out the high. On the bottom side, of course, the other way around, take out the low. But you want to take the 886 from the start of a move, not in the middle of a range. You take it here from the high to the low. Right? That's the important 886. So it's at the top here. And you did change structure. Or you could. No, I wouldn't. No, just the only one is here from the high to the low. The first move is where you pull the 886. When you plan to start new internet site where it will be possible to pay, it's in development. I literally have a meeting with regards to the website this week, next week. It will still, of course, take a little while before everything is up and running, but we're working on it. Compendium. Hopefully before the end of the year, but I also need terms and conditions and stuff made by a lawyer, which I will visit on Thursday. So we'll see how fast we can do it. I hope before the end of the year, but it's more hope. I'm afraid it might be after the end of the year. We're doing good with regards to the content in the compendium. It's just the other stuff like platforms to sell it, protection, getting a lawyer in, terms and conditions, other stuff to protect the IP of the document. Then at the beginning, it's just a download, but then eventually we also want to make it an actual book, right? So that you can physically buy the compendium. I have another idea as well. So what's the price going to be? I still do some research on compendiums in other industries. There is a big range in the pricing depending on how detailed a compendium is. So I have no conclusion yet on a price there. There's a minimum target for wave C, yeah, the 0.618, because it has happened several times. I see that it has not even reached the 1-to-1 fib. The 0.618 is minimum. Best place to visit in the Netherlands beside Amsterdam. All the Dutchies, please help a man out here. There is a Venice in the Netherlands. Just Google on Netherlands, Venice, and there's like a Dutch Venice. I don't know the name, forgot the name of the city. Probably the beach of The Hague, Utrecht city center, the canal. Giethoorn, yes, Giethoorn. Thanks, Nick. That's the one. Probably Utrecht, the canals is fun. Yeah. I'm not really. Yeah, I don't know what other stuff. Cheese, cows, farms, islands, whatever. 200K now, crazy. Yeah, of course. We call them moon boys. Maybe one day we'll reach it. And then they might be right, but it's the same people that were shouting 500K per Bitcoin in 2021 and in 2018, and then look what happens. So don't watch that. Is it free for gold? No, the compendium will absolutely, in no membership whatsoever, be free. It's way too much information, detail, and it's a whole separate process, whole separate thing. Yeah. Okay, guys, I got to start analyzing, else we never get anywhere. So, okay, 50, 60. Yeah, just make sure you analyze first yourself and then put the count in the chat, and then I'll check if it's okay or not. So, Jenny, 618 for wave 4 is a rule. It is a probabilities thing. So the 0.618, right, you won't find in any book because there's only 3 rules. All the other things are guidelines. Rule 1, wave 2 is not allowed to take the origin of 1. Rule 2, wave 3 can't be the shortest. And rule number 3, wave 1 and 4 are not allowed to overlap in an impulse. All the other stuff are all guidelines. Everything else is guidelines. It's not rules. So officially, the 0.618 to invalidate a wave 4 is a guideline. But it is a guideline based on the probabilities. The common target for 4 is 23605. The 618 is so incredibly rare for a wave 4. I've never seen it. So incredibly rare for a wave 4 that you might as well use it as an invalidation because it doesn't make sense anymore. The whole count, like if you want to count it a 4, then remove the 4 and make it a double 1 2, make it an ABC, make it a double zigzag WXY. But the probabilities are very low that you are working on a wave 4. And the probabilities are so low that you can as well label it as an invalidation for a wave 4. That is why the 618 is regarded as an invalidation. Employee discount. Okay. Let's get this started, shall we? Short overview. This will go very quick. Why? Because I have made a video this morning, which was about 8 minutes or 9 minutes about this. So short repeat, I suppose, right? How far? Okay, 28 minutes already. Answered so many questions in the beginning. We almost like did chatting and Q&A in the beginning. Okay, let's cover Bitcoin in 5 minutes. Scenario on the daily. All of the scenarios I have are bullish. In general, the probabilities are higher. We are still looking for higher prices. The main question is, do you first get a deeper retracement and again a bigger sideways range? From a probabilities perspective, the answer is yes. Now, there are 2 scenarios on the daily that can cause this blue wave 4. First of all here, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, finish 5, 4, 5. In this scenario, you do look for one more high between 109, 112K, and then get the retracement to the downside in a wave of 4. Your target here, 99.1 to 91.4, preferably not the 05 because it is way below the lower degree wave 4, which is a wide 4. That's a lower degree 4 compared to the blue 4, right? So this is a scenario that we keep an eye on. But in this scenario, we actually do want to take the high once more and then look for a drop. Now, on the 1 hour time frame, it means for that scenario that you do not want to hit this level here, 102.5K, because, and there you go, it invalidates a wave 4. Right? It doesn't make sense. So in this particular scenario, you actually want to stay above it and you need an impulse structure to the upside, right? Taking out this low would start to be problematic because we don't have a lot of stuff here that is, avoiding us from hitting the 618. Now the target for your 5 here, 109 to 112K, right? 111.5 to be exact. And then you look for a deeper retracement to the downside. Now, second scenario on the daily here, right? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, bigger 5, right? So this is your actually bullish count where you extend to much higher prices. It's, however, not the highest probability count, but it is still, of course, a bullish count and it is the most bullish one. Now, on a 1 hour time frame, that means you have to count a double 1, 2, 1, 2. Common target for 2 is touched. If you move down, by the way, and you hit the 0.618 at 105K, then the previous scenario is invalidated. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 doesn't work anymore. And instead, this scenario and your more bearish scenario are going to have higher probabilities, which I'll explain in a second, especially the more bearish scenario. So double 1, 2. Common target is touched 05786. In this scenario, your second wave 1 is longer in time and price than your first wave 1. But your second wave 1 in white is a lower degree wave one. So preferably this one is actually a bit shorter in time and price compared to the yellow one, but it's not. It's longer in price and it is also longer in time, almost twice in time. Lowering the probabilities for this scenario is not an invalidation, but it impacts the probabilities negatively. Invalidation is taking the low at 99.2k. Right? In other words, the bullish scenario, because of the double 1-2, cannot get the highest probability. And then you have your bearish scenario where you are required to hit the 618. 1, 2, 3, and then this here, this mess has to be 4, and they have a 5 up. This has to then be the beginning of a corrective structure. Here you want to touch this 618 at 102.5k. Right? Then look for a retracement to the upside and then a move down. Now I do have some support, right? I shared earlier my picture of the plan. Now guess what, right? We have some support here, and that's why it's a level of interest. I'll be observing if price would get there, what it does, and look for this bounce. Look for a sell, like selling my long, and look for a potential short in that case, right? Because expectation is to move down. You're either looking for 1-2-1-2 very up, very much up, or you look for your bearish scenario. But arguably your bearish has higher probabilities than the bullish because of the double 1-2 structure. Right? Okay, and on a daily time frame, that bearish scenario on the 1 hour is represented like this: 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, finished, high is in 4, 5. Now, when we then talk about probabilities, on the daily, probabilities are higher for the blue lines, meaning looking for a move down, compared to the green, because the green is the double 1-2, which has lower probabilities than looking for a wave 5 or a direct move down. On the 1 hour, however, as long as you do not touch 102.5k, the probabilities are higher for blue. The moment you touch the 0.618, the probabilities are higher for red. Green is, in both cases, the alternative. So at the moment, we haven't yet touched the 0.618, right? So that is why I entered my long here at the low with my stop on the 618. Now, as mentioned, it's already managed. I do not want price to move down. Honestly, I don't even want price to move down to my entry. So I'm already managed here with my stop at break even, right? Because taking this low would start to be a bit of a issue. And here we need an impulsive move to the upside, reach higher targets, and then look for weakness and a retracement to the downside. So no financial advice by all means, but of course I earlier in the stream shared the idea, my basically idea for the day when I was clicking through the tabs. So yeah, but anyway, blue priority if you touch 618, red priority, green always alternative. And there you go. We cover Bitcoin faster now. yeah, I know. And I shaved myself. It's big news today on the live stream. I don't know. Maybe some people are watching this on a TV and it's like a very big screen, and then usually, like, the webcam is not a small little thing on their screen, so they're actually seeing like my head has a real life size to it on a television. And then they usually see the beard, and then the moment I shave, they're like, what the fuck? Who am I looking at? Okay, so that's Bitcoin for you. Let's check the rest. Bitcoin analysis. Now all's chatting and Q&A. Very nice. Pin the message. Okay. Oh yeah, locally, by the way, some questions locally. I don't try to be too invested in local price action here. This move up looks to be corrective. We had the idea of a flat yesterday, especially Samith was going hard on a flat as well and traded it nicely. And he shared that in Discord at that moment in time. Now this is a mess. If this is an impulse, which sometimes it happens, it's very messy. And of course, therefore, a corrective structure is an idea. Now, another thing is, if this is your wave 1 or your wave A to the downside, right? This move is 4 times longer in time compared to the move down. So, yeah, I mean, we just had a couple of ideas, right? Like you can have running flat X, Y, zigzag, finishing an impulse, and then look for an impulsive structure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? This cannot be 2 with this being 4 anymore. What else did we have? We had like A, B, C flat because this hit the 0.9. Right? But then you actually want to take the low again, but that's invalidated now because you hit the 618, so that doesn't work. A, B, C was also something we had. So yeah, there were multiple things we were discussing in gold earlier today, but in the end, this feels corrective and it's bullish till proven otherwise. If you touch the 618 at 102.5k, we know enough, no? So yeah. I gotta say, I did like the WXY scenario with then the flat X zigzag in a Y. I thought it was quite original there. Locally, of course, if you change market structure, that is a problem because you did not yet finish a 5-wave structure. It's no problem to have a 1-2-1-2, of course, locally, but you don't want to change the structure, right? So you got to keep that alive, else you're gonna continue to correct. Okay. Yo, Ronnie, how you doing, man? Regards from Madrid. I guess so that's where you're hanging out now. Yeah, welcome. Good to have you here, man. Welcome. What's up? 19, I know. I was asking my wife. I said, "Yo, yeah, I wanna share, but am I gonna do it as usual or put like something on the razor and then have like longer eventually, like for her she doesn't matter, she doesn't mind." And then I was like, oh, then I just cut it off. Okay, let's start. Alts, I don't do detailed low time frame analysis, only high time frame analysis. Low time frames on the alts for me are basically a bit of a waste of time. The higher time frames are a lot more interesting, and we are at resistance here. We did not snipe that high. So locally here on KDA, let me get my pen and paper. Where's my, oh, I have my pen, paper. And do this. And then we have a KDA. What's the time? Oop. Time is so on KDA, if you want to count this bullish, you of course need a wave 1 at the current all-time high, which has to be an expanding diagonal of some sort because of the incredible move to the upside here. And locally, which is actually a lot easier, you of course want to look for a wave of 4. So 1, 2, couple of 1, 2s, 3, 4, 5, and then another 4, 5. If this is your 2, you're still looking for a 4. In other words, the probabilities are higher. You are looking for upside as long as you do not touch 0.8. That's your invalidation. And the previous range is always important support, right? Wave 4 of a higher degree likes to retrace to the wave 4 of a lower degree, right? So that's basically it. Low time frame stuff, I'm not interested in low time frame stuff. The only thing I can say is highest amount of volume is in this low, right? You could count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 if you want to be bearish. Most often, highest volume in the low, however, is wave 3 style, not 5. So arguably, you can think about a corrective structure, but yeah, that's KDA. It's a lot. So with the alts, like like day trading alts, I think alts are really good from more like a spot point of view. And I mean, look at this, 300%, right? Like on the higher time frames, alts are many alts, not all alts, but if you go through the altcoin playlist on my channel, so many alts are actually really easy on the higher time frame. It removes all of the noise, right? Now, of course, if you entered somewhere here and you're now underwater, you're like, oh shit, are we going down further or whatnot, and da. But of course, your entries are made here, like preferably. And now you got to wait again for a retracement. You never want to join in the middle of a pump. No financial advice, but it is not recommended to. You want to wait for a range. From an Elliott wave point of view, you want to wait for a range. So if this is your 2, you actually want a wave 4 that is similar in size. And the moment you start ranging sideways, you'll know, right? This is your target area for KDA, 1.4 to 0.95. And this is your 4. And if you hit the 618, your only bullish scenario that's left is 1212. Not preferred because your second one is so long compared to your first. So if you touch the 618, bearish probabilities go up as well. So the probabilities are higher to continue up and take out this high as long as you don't touch the 618. So that's an invalidation. Okay. I see a lot of the same ones are dot is exactly the same. So like this dot is exactly the same. So we actually don't really need to analyze it because it's on the chart already. So dot, like everything that happened before here is actually not too interesting. You might count this as another 1-2 and then have another 1-2 here. But from an impulse point of view, this low is lower than that low. So you would look for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Invalidated, touching the 618 at 569. The moment you touch this, you're only going to look for 1, 2, 1, 2. Invalidation is taking out the lows. And probabilities, of course, increase for this to be a wave C. If you do hit the 618, important, then probabilities increase also for a 3-wave structure. So if the retracement down, in that case, if you do touch the 618, both on KDA, on DOT and other charts, if this is a corrective move down, right, on lower time frames, which will become more clear in time, probabilities are higher that you're looking for a 1-2 up if you do touch the 618. If this is an impulsive move down, then be prepared to take the lows. But at the moment, you're not even close to the 618. That is still like 50% drop or 30% drop. So yeah, probabilities are higher to take out the high as long as you do not touch the 618. So there is this filter. I've seen the videos where you have like guys checking the filter where the beard is removed, right? So they have a beard and then the filter removes the beard. That's what I did, but in real life, and all of you are noticing it. It's not even like flat, it's stubble in the Netherlands, but by the way, yes, I applied your 618 for wave 4. I tried to apply it in alts. For me, it looks invalidated. I'm not sure what chart you mean, yes, because on most of the charts, the 618 is not touched on the alts. That is. Let me know. Yes. Sol is same boat. Where is Sol? And SOL 4540. So yeah, here you go. This is Solana. This is your more bullish count, by the way. 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 5. Right. So in that case, we're not yet finished with 3. you're still looking for price to move up, then get a 4 and then a 5, continuing this range longer, and then you move up one more time. Your alternative, which is more bearish, is that blue 3 finished here, blue 4 finished here, and this move up is going to be your 5, and then it's bear market. So we have hit my white box target area, which is the one over here between 247, 317. Nice bit of a reaction, right? And in this particular scenario on Solana, you can see the highest amount of volume is in the recent move to the upside. So in an impulse, what we're looking for is a couple of 1-2s, then you get your 3, then you want to see a few 4-5s. So also here, oh, and by the way, the white box here, that's your previous range of a lower degree, right? Wave 4 of a lower degree, which is always interesting support for a potential wave 4 of a higher degree. And this range is between 201 and 224, invalidation 173, but preferably you're not even reaching the 05 because of your wave 4 of a lower degree not being close to 187, 173. So of course officially your invalidation is lower, right? But you don't actually really want to go to the 05 even. So yeah, and again, probabilities are higher to move up. As long as you do not see clear signs of weakness locally, which we haven't, right? Instead, we are ranging in expected support, 236, 382 touched, resistance touched. Yeah. It's good till the moment we actually do see weakness. So, yeah. 886. That's a very little 886 touch. But if we want to count an impulse down here, then yeah, you ended on a high amount of volume. This range is too high for a wave 4. So this move to the downside looks more like a 3 wave than a 5 wave. So it does support the bullish narrative on Solana. And it's very clear where the invalidation is, no? So, of course, from a trading point of view, most of the alts, like we're looking for wave 4s, it's relatively easy, especially if you do move to the 382, right? Wait, I'm not on log anymore. On the weekly, I'm on log. Oh, there we go. So, 382, you know where you don't want price to see, which, of course, is like an invalidation. And then it's just solid risk management. And if it's a loss, it's a loss, and then you have clarity on what's next because you're looking for another 4 in that case. Bearish would be bear market, but yeah, probabilities are higher to move up till unless you hit invalidation. Stocks, yeah, stocks as well, yeah, no problem. Anything that has a price chart is what I analyze. Sometimes like I get asked about Bitcoin dominance and stuff, but I usually have a look at it. I don't have a count on it. I just by looking, I get an idea of what's happening. But price charts, of course, are preferred. Adam, by the way, what's up? Good to have you here. Jeroen also here. I see ETH popping in, which is also, of course, a classic, pretty much requested every time. So 886 on my chart. 1 second here. Where is my... Oh, did I remove my 886? Oh, I think I did. Interesting. 1 second here. So we do this. Poof. Pop. Gotta put it back on the chart. There we go. Probabilities are higher for ETH to still take out the all-time high. It's basically a matter of time. Very clear 3-wave zigzag to the downside. Move back towards the upside, invalidating a wave 4 at this low or this high here when we touch the 618, taken from this high to the low. So this is where the probabilities were higher to look for the high. And then after you touch the 618, any move to the downside, higher probability it is corrective. Very common for price to move from an 886 to the golden pocket. Look for a reaction here, and then we move back to the 886. It's almost like classic now. And yeah, you're still looking for price to take out the high on Ethereum. Now, the price action of Ethereum is, it's got to be said, is quite ugly. You have, of course, your bullish scenario, which is 1, 2, and now you're looking maybe for another 1, 2 continuation up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, very ugly impulse, but it's the only way to really count an impulse. Then you have 2, and then you look for continuation. Mind you that this low was made before the 382 Fib time, meaning 2 is very short, and on the 382 Fibonacci, which is shallow. Happens, but just a side note, right? Does impact probability. So you can be aware of the potential of a bigger three-wave structure. Of course, Bitcoin does need to do something crazy in order for ETH to move that low. However, if Bitcoin can finish a 5-wave impulse on the daily, so from 50, we have a couple of 1-2s working on a couple of 4-5s. Now imagine Ethereum does a couple of 4-5s, blah, blah, blah. And then once Bitcoin tops out and creates the retracement, either bear market or another 2, that's the opportunity for ETH to also retrace. But we're talking about something that's only then happening in weeks. So yeah, this would be your bullish count. Your also still bullish count is WX flat in a Y, then look for continuation to the upside. By all means, you're looking for all-time high to be taken. And locally, I think last time we were also looking at this is you have a couple of 2s here, right? 1-2s and 1-2s. So of course, price now starts to grind here, right, towards the upside. This is your quick move. This is preferably labeled your 3, as a 3 most commonly is your most explosive structure. So then you have your couple of 1-2s, you get your 3, and then you get your couple of 4-5s. Now in this case, you then preferably have your latest like your 1, your 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Did we touch the 8? No, we actually swiped the high, so yeah. 1, 2, 1, 2, potentially even another 4, 5, right? So yeah, I'd still be looking for upside. Also, I don't like wicks as wave 5s. It's very uncommon for a wave 5 to end as a wick instead of actually closing candles. So yeah, I would be more like looking for a range and then continue and take the high again. But it doesn't change anything on the weekly, which is still aimed to taking out the high. Oh, we swing this high as well, I see now. Took a little bit of liquidity there. So, Ondo. Ondo was a nice one. Yeah, also here, keep it simple. Who was the one that requested Ondo? I just saw it. Ondo. Someone said Ondo is confusing me. I forgot, but don't wait. Oh, 1 second, let me write it down here. Ondo, before I continue talking, else I'm doing 2 things at the same time. Obviously goes wrong. So with Ondo, right, I wouldn't recommend to be too involved on low time frame stuff. Look how nice the weekly is, how silent, right? There's not too much noise, not at all. Very clear structure, right? Clear support identified, bounce to the upside, volume coming in as price moves up, takes out the all-time high. From an impulsive perspective, which has the highest probability, because if you take a fib from the low here to your first high to the low, and we moved way beyond the 1.618, which increases probabilities that this move is a wave 3. In other words, on Ondo, you're still looking for a 4 and a 5, and it doesn't really matter when this 4 is going to start. Can be now, can be later, right? But you're looking for higher prices nonetheless. Now your target area is Oh, that's a much deeper retracement. So once you move into a wave 4, your common target area is 23605, taken from either or the higher lows here. I would probably take the higher low for now to the high, and then that gives a new opportunity on the weekly. Of course, on the low time frame, a lot of things can happen in the meantime, but nice correction. Highest volume, I bet, in the low as well. Highest volume peak in the low, comes back up, invalidates a wave 4, probability is higher to take the high. That's quite nice. And then, yeah, local stuff here. It's not too... yeah. Corrective or a diagonal. You can't count this as an impulse. You can't count this as a multi-1-2. The only bearish scenario here would be some sort of a diagonal structure. Your bullish scenario is zigzag family structures here. Yeah, and then potential for a flat. But then again, that's low time frame. You're still looking for higher prices on the higher time frame. So keep it easy. Keep it easy. Even if you miss the move here, right? Like, don't forget, a wave 4 and a wave 5. A wave 5 can be a very big move, eh? Right? show you an example on Ondo. You have a range here, right? Your wave 4. Imagine you enter in the middle of the range here, right? And you have identified this low as your invalidation. This is still a 1 to 4. Do not forget that this is swing trading. That's perfectly fine. You can, of course, it's a triangle. You put it on the other side of the triangle. You're talking about 1 to 7, right? So if the triangle breaks out here, triangle breaks out on the lower time frame, stop in the middle of the triangle, 1 to 7, right? 1 to 4 if you put it on the other side of the triangle. It's good. Of course, if your portfolio size is $100, then yeah, you're waiting a couple of weeks for $4. But if that's how you are going to become a profitable trader and build an account and get comfortable and build a plan, and it's perfectly fine. You don't want to look at people. This is also a big reason why I don't like to share my trades. You don't want to look at people that are earning millions with every trade they do, or they lose millions, also happens. But you want to focus on your own process, right? There are traders out there that always show their trades and whatnot. It's not helping you at all. At all. It's not going to help you in your process, not going to help you in your analysis, not going to help you with your entries, your exits, your management. The only thing it does is it gives the creator clickbait for you to watch that video and be invested and interested in their setup, right? Like, and it's just clicks, it's just views, it's just bullshit. It doesn't teach you a thing, period, right? So focus on yourself. Focus on yourself. And the weekly chart here is very nice. Now on Bitcoin, I go to the lower time frames, right? But here it's perfectly fine. And if you trade with $100, $50, 1K, 10K, 100K, 1 million, maybe even more, right? Everyone has their own journey, but don't compare yourself to others, right? It's not going to help you. Focus on yourself, 100% on yourself. Don't care about anyone posting those what's that, the percentage win pictures. I do not allow them in Discord because they are not helping anyone as well. Like the only reason someone likes to share their P&L picture, that's of course in profit, is because they want to have their ego, like, they want to have their ego massaged, like, wow, such a good position. Wow, so much percent. Oh yeah, it's cross 100x, but, and maybe they're trading with 1 cent, trying to snipe the low, and then they can send pictures to their friends and all that bullshit. So anyway, that's my little rant about that stuff. Ooh, there's a lot of different ones coming in here, gotta say. 618 on the smaller time frame, as we are looking for wave 5 on alts. I tried to apply 618 as you didn't, but on the 1 hour, but on alts for me it looks invalidated. Alts do not have to follow Bitcoin, but also so just an FYI for Jesse, right? most of the alts are correcting down. The only 886 that is relevant at the moment is from the high to the low. The moment price moves back up and starts ranging, you don't want to pull an 886 from the low to the high, because this 886 here, right? This one can be a target for a wave Y, for example, or for a triangle, right? Triangle wave B or a triangle wave E even. And then you touch and you go. This 886 is not relevant. You only want to pull an 886 from the first move that starts the range, or when you are looking for, of course, an impulse. The only thing you learn, so if you have an 88, wait 1 second, clean this up. If price moves up, moves down, you have an 886 from the low to the high, and price touches the 886. The only thing you now know is that this structure here is very unlikely to be a wave 1 of an impulse, and this a wave 2 of an impulse. That's something you've learned. That's the information you gathered. But probabilities are not higher to take out this low with an 886 pulled from a move in the middle of the range. You only want to pull them from the start of a range. Now, of course, if this is a daily time frame, then locally on a 15, you can do the same, right? So you can pull an 886 from a high to a low, and on the 15 from a high to a low as well, right? And if you on a 5-minute move to the upside and the 5-minute trend is up, you can pull an 886 from the low to the high, right? And from a low to a high and just check. But yeah, you got to be aware of how you pull your 886s, and if you do it correctly and it's touched, then yeah, the probabilities are the way it is. Most common indeed to then take out that high or low that you pulled it from. Yes. Okay. I don't have how long? 1 hour 2. It's now a bit over. What's Bitcoin doing, by the way? Moving to the downside here at the moment. Perfectly fine. So we have some bullish CVDs, but I would like a bit more structure. Would be nice. Let's see. We had a bit of bearish CVD at the high as well. So yeah, let's see if we take out the lows here. Keep an eye on the 618, right, at 102.5K. That one is very important. And then we'll take it from there. No, I saw a FET. By the way, on Bitcoin, of course, yes, so we're also looking for a retracement. So yeah, on FET, FET. Okay. So yeah, this is what we have on the chart, right? So impulse to the upside. 618, and your 1 is invalidation, so your higher invalidation is the high of 1, because 1 and 4 are not allowed to overlap. The moment you do, you have to switch to, as a bullish count, 1 2 1 2, bearish, ABC, and downside. So makes life easy. Locally here though, this is your most important resistance. This is an order block, point of control, area sitting between 212 228. And if you pass this, then yeah, you know, all-time high is around the corner. Or is that all-time high actually? Yeah. Okay, from a bullish perspective, and no, 1 second here. Let me clean up the chart a bit. This is group 1. Oh wait, I have multiple groups. Give me a break here. Let's check what I have. Remove that. What's group 2? Oh, that's the double 1 2. Group 3. Bearish ABC for a bigger correction, and then this is the point of controls. Okay, so in other words, the ABC of group 3 is a subdegree count of a double 1 2. There you go. But I explained the double 1 2 with the 618 on the chart, which is this one, and of course overlap with the high. Now, on FET, of course, your most important resistance now touched. While at resistance, price rejecting, generally not too great, of course, for immediate longs into resistance. There is the potential for a 5-wave move to the downside, which would be an impulse, you do have the highest amount of volume in your wave 5, which is less common to compare to a wave 3. So the fact that the highest volume is in the low is something to consider, as generally corrective structures tend to show this and not impulses. As for impulses, you preferably have the volume in 3, not 5. That's most common, at least. So that's something we can be aware of. One second. So how high did this go? We did not touch the 618, which means that this is very 3 wavy. Of course, we can argue 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but the fact this looks very 3. Counting. It would be a crazy double zigzag, no? WXY. You got to be aware of the potential of an impulse here at least. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then oh no, wait, you have overlap. Low of 1, high of 4. No. You can't count. Overlap between 1 and 4. 618 touch if you take it from there. Overlap. We can't count an impulse here. So you would need to divert to diagonals because of the overlap. But in a diagonal, so 5 is of course shorter than your 3 here, no? 5 is shorter. However, 5 is longer than 1. Okay, well, it's shorter than 3, which is what 5 is measured against. 3. So in that case, it's 3, 3, 3. That would be your bearish scenario as a diagonal. So you do have one here. Now, leading diagonals are more rare than ending diagonals. And in a zigzag, I believe 7% of wave A's start with a diagonal, which of course is very low in percentages. So arguably your probabilities remain higher to take out the high compared to counting a diagonal, because the diagonals are very uncommon. You just want to pass the resistance we got. So yeah, probabilities are higher till you hit invalidations. It's pretty much the same as others. So yeah, how's Bitcoin? I gotta wrap things up, guys, though. We did, of course, KDA, Sol, ETH, Ondo, FED. But I got some more stuff on this beautiful day. So now we moved all the way down, right? We're at the previous range. So if we want to count this as a double 1-2, we now also touch the 886, which of course isn't too great. There you go. All right, so increasing probabilities of a 3-wave structure to the upside. We can't count a 5-wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The fact we then move down only gives you a 1-2-1-2 setup, but your second 2 now hit the 0.886. And the fact that the 0.886 is touched significantly reduces probabilities for another 2. Increasing the probabilities this move to the upside here is a 3-wave structure, not a 5-wave structure, which increases probabilities for price to take out the low. Of course, in that case, you also get ever so close to the 618, which is something to keep in mind. So yeah, now what's up, Victor? Cheers, Susie. yeah, we just wait and see. Just wait what price is giving us, is showing us. Right, we have the 618. That's the most important level. So where is, that's the 886. Where is the, was it this one? Yeah, there you go. There we go. Most important level is on the chart. So yeah, we analyzed Bitcoin, right? 28 minutes is when it started. I'll put the timestamps in, okay? And then we had KDA, DOT, Solana, ETH, Ondo, FET. Nice to see that the alts are, you know, ranging as well as Bitcoin is. I mean, arguably we're looking at the blue lines on the higher time frame, so it can give the alts an opportunity to range as well. So yeah, that's good. Now, mind you that tonight we do have some additional news. So I am considering going live. Before I go live, I always put the planning on like in YouTube. I also have Discord, of course, with notifications if you have never seen that before. YouTube notifications are not always as trustworthy, but if you go to reaction roles and you click on this purple button, then you will get a notification every time something is posted by us, by myself, by the bot in the Koens content channel. So if I'm live tonight, then you will know either through YouTube or, of course, in Discord there. I am definitely considering to go live. If I go live, then it would be from 8 to 9 p.m. Central European time, so you can calculate it to your time zone, and if you see something appearing in Discord or on YouTube, then it should usually be 15-30 minutes before. So yeah, and then we'll see what the news is going to bring. All right, so we just patiently wait for what's going to happen tonight and also today. It might be a very volatile night, but might be a very volatile day as well. Now, if price takes out this low, then at least you like fully invalidate a 112. So as long as you don't take this low, it's not fully invalidated. But yeah, let's see what we get, yo. Thanks everyone for being here. Hopefully found it interesting, educational, useful. I will put the timestamps in of the different analysis, and then yeah, I'll probably be live tonight to see what happens on the chart. Yeah, I'm interested, invested, trading. So yeah, let's see what we get. And I'll promise as well, next time when I shave my beard, I will consider keeping a little bit of length. I look like a brookie now, bro. Oh, who's this guy? Oh boy. Thanks everyone for being here, and I will very likely catch you later. So trade safe with the volatility, right? Also locally, as long as you don't take out that low, right? The 112 is officially not invalidated. Volatility, volume coming in as well here on the chart, of course, right? Spiky candle. So if you are not positioned, if you don't have a plan or a strategy, then these days are usually a little bit risky because of the potential movements in price with all the news going on as well. So let's see what we get, right? Probabilities are clear on Bitcoin and the other stuff. So we take it bit by bit. What did I miss today? The analysis that started at 28 minutes. If you want to check it out, I'll put the timestamps in a little bit. So yeah, the 618, if you touch 102.5K, wave 4 invalidated, probabilities higher for still a bounce at some point, but then continuation to the downside. Check the analysis, 28 minutes. I'll probably see you tonight. Keep an eye on Discord and YouTube, and let's see what we get.